and welcome to another episode of Glorious Life on Wheels. The noise you hear in the background is rain. It is coming down, like cats and dogs where I am today, and it's really quite cold. But anyhow, I wanted to do a follow-up to the last video that I did. In that video, I shared with you how I had been the victim of a crime in Quartzsite, Arizona, and how some of my very favorite kitchen equipment had been stolen. And even a bottle of syrup, a half a bottle of syrup. Who does that? But anyhow, I was sharing how I had seen a lot of very desperate people in Quartzsite this year, and some were very aggressive and demanding that you help them. And it got me to thinking, you know what? It's not only in Quartzsite. There are a lot of people who feel entitled to your belongings. If you have something they want, they don't feel like they should have to go out and work for it. They should be able to just take it from you. Either you give it to them, give it up to them, or they take it from you. So in this video, I'm sharing part of an interview I did with Kent Moyer. Kent is the president and founder of the World Protection Group. It is a very, very elite agency that provides protection to high-profile individuals, including diplomats, presidents, celebrities, you name it. And they have contacts all around the world. In this interview, I talked to Kent and asked him, what are some things that just a regular person like you and me can do to protect ourselves, whether we're in our homes or whether we're a nomad and on the road? And with everything that's going on in society these days, I think these tips are more important than ever. I think this year coming up, we may see more homeless people and desperate people than we have since the Great Depression in the 1930s. I hope I'm wrong, but we'll see. Meanwhile, come on, and Kent's going to share those very, very important tips with you. And stay tuned at the end, because he's going to give some information on his background, which is very, very compelling, and I think you will enjoy hearing about it. So come on, let's see what Kent has to say. What can just a regular person like myself, particularly someone who's a solo female or who is a senior, so what can an average person do to protect themselves when we go out into the community?
Well, you have to train yourself to have a situational awareness. And what that means is you have to develop a security mindset. And so let's say you're walking down the street and maybe it's a quarter mile to where your car is. And we go out this door, which is the door to our office. First thing that I would do and I would tell people is start looking around the area. And is there a homeless man over there? Is there somebody over there that looks maybe like a bad guy? Is there somebody over there that's kind of watching what you're doing? And you create this awareness and alertness to the highest level, a little bit higher than ever before because of the crime increase in California and, people being robbed and, shoplifting that's going on, stores being ransacked. So you want to create a security alertness. I highly encourage everyone to carry pepper spray because you don't have to have a license to carry pepper spray. You get some minimum training, you have a little card, you're able to carry pepper spray. I would get a pretty good sized container of pepper spray because if you have to use pepper spray, you can spray that 10 feet away and it still will have an effect on stopping a bad guy or potentially stopping a bad guy. And so I highly recommend pepper spray. So when you leave to go out here and your car's a quarter mile away or you're at a shopping mall, you're going to your car, the pepper spray can't be in your purse or in your pocket. It has to be in your hand. And so you have your purse over your shoulder, the pepper spray's in your hand, and you're scanning the area. And you're sometimes even looking behind you as you're walking because you want to see, is there anybody around that could pose a threat to me from me to get from point A to point B, that I'm in a secure car and I'm safe and I can get out of there at that point. You may want to consider getting a concealed weapons permit. In certain counties in California, they're very easy to get. They're easier to get in Orange County, San Diego, and even LA County Sheriff is issuing CCW permits, which I never did before. So what that means is if you're going to take the responsibility of buying a gun, getting trained to have a gun, and getting that permit to be able to actually carry a gun, you want to have some expertise, somebody who is an expert, tell you what is maybe the best gun for you to buy. You want to have night sights on the gun, and you want to be able to have a gun that fits easy in your hand and is easy for you to deploy if necessary, and have that gun available at your home to protect yourself at your home. Highly recommend alarm systems, alarm systems, and have them turned on and getting in the habit of doing that. Many years ago, there was what were called the Bel Air burglars, and all these rich houses that were $1 million houses. People had these elaborate alarm systems in the house and camera systems. A lot of times they didn't have them turned on. So the burglar would go in there and rob the place, or there would be a home invasion robbery, and they'd get away, and the cameras were off, they weren't working, or the alarms weren't turned on. So it's developing a security mindset so that you're able to deal with the adjustment and the increase in crime.
Now, what I hear you saying is that don't wait until someone's right up on you. If there's a perceived threat, someone's approaching you, and you've identified them as a risk to your safety, take action with your pepper spray at a distance, not once they get right up on you.
Absolutely. And another thing, there are portable alarm systems that you can utilize for, like, in addition, a panic and duress alarm that maybe is not alerting anybody, but you push the button and it sounds a large, loud alarm that if there are people nearby, they may be able to respond to help you, or may be able to call 911, call the police, and know that you're being attacked or someone's posing a threat to you. So that's another thing to consider, to have an audible alarm. And there are probably systems that automatically go to a command center, and from that command center, they will be able to communicate with you or else call and alert the police. There are probably apps that are out there that can do that, as well as just an alarm that you would have on a keychain.
Let me ask you this. Recently there was a tragedy that happened at a rest stop in Nebraska involving a elderly or a senior couple. And what is your opinion about rest stops? I have a lot of people who I interview who are older and who live full-time in RVs or in vans and cargo vans and travel around the country. And what is your opinion about rest stops and places that are or are not safe to stop at night, overnight, to sleep?
Well, I don't think there's, I think what you want to do is, if you're planning a trip and you're going to be in a number of different states and you want to stop at a rest stop, you want to check the crime statistics near that rest stop. Are there any crimes that have occurred within a 1 or 2 mile radius? And you can easily do that. There are crime mapping systems where you can plug in the address and it will send you an email daily on what's going on in that geographic area.
Is there a name or something of one of these
I think
systems?
It's crime mapping.
Crime mapping,
Yeah.
and you can then put that in, and you put in, say, the general location of the city, or
you can put in the street, the location, it's a rest stop here at this location. Then you can say, I want a half a mile, or 2 mile radius. I would not go 2 miles, I would only go a mile. And then you will get an email, and the email will tell you that last night there were 17 crimes within a mile radius of that rest stop.
Okay.
That's number one. Number two, if you're traveling in an RV, I would consider getting portable alarm system with the RV, that if somebody breaks the door open, it triggers off an alarm. Maybe have motion detectors outside, so if somebody's outside your RV, that you would get an alert that somebody's outside before they do break in. And in addition, even a portable camera system that would cover the front door, that it maybe connects to the TV or a little computer system, screen that you have there, that in the middle of the night the computer screen kicks in and lights up and there's somebody outside, and you'd be able to respond to it before there would be an actual invasion and breaking in of a window or a door to get in there and attack you.
All right. Well, those are very good pointers, and I really appreciate it. Now, can you, give me a little bit of background for my viewers as to what your experience is in providing protection for individuals of a very high level, both celebrities, politicians, CEOs, a little bit of your background?
So I've been in law enforcement for 25 years, and I've been in the security industry for probably a little over 30 years. And my focus in the security industry is executive protection / dignitary protection. and in addition, intelligence and also investigations and managing of threats. So I started the World Protection Group in 2001. My whole life and mindset has been in protecting other people. Rarely have ever been in a uniformed patrol car. That's not what I do. I'm a specialist, and I was brought in as a specialist. And so I've been able to do in the private sector as well as in a law enforcement capacity, and work many protection details in support roles, and also law enforcement with Secret Service as well as private security with Secret Service.
And you did say when we were talking off camera that you were intimately involved with the Dignitary Protection Program for both Orange County and Los Angeles County. Can you explain what that entails?
Yes, so in Orange County for 10 years I ran the Dignitary Protection Unit, and also was in investigations and also managing threats. Did a lot of management of threats of judges as well as dignitaries that would come into Orange County, presidents, attorney generals, various people in the government that would come into Orange County, and we would do the protection detail. We even did the protection of the sheriff. And then Los Angeles approached me because I graduated Los Angeles County Sheriff Academy, and they said, would you have an interest in coming up and doing the same thing for us? And I said, absolutely. I said, I live in Los Angeles, so been with Los Angeles ever since, and started out more dignitary protection, where I did training for the unit and helped organize and run details, and then eventually transition into the intelligence unit.
Now, you also have locations and partnerships worldwide with organizations that provide, through your services and others, provide support in terms of provide actual one-on-one protection for celebrities, for people whose names we would know. I won't ask you their names, but people whose names we would know if they were brought up in the media.
Yes, well, I mean, we've done sports teams, we've done billionaires, we've done entertainment companies, we've done corporations, and a lot of them rely on us when they travel in foreign countries. And so what I did was I would go around to many security conferences in foreign countries, China, in Europe, Mexico, Brazil, and I would meet company owners that had companies, and then we would develop a partnership with that company. So when our client would travel to that country, all of our agents in that country would be with our partner company. They would be fully licensed. They would have the license and requirement, the insurances, and we would vet them to make sure that the standards of their training and the agents were the same level of our people here in the United States.
I know you're busy. I appreciate your time, and I look forward to maybe in the future asking you more questions about security for individuals who are traveling and are nomads on the road. Thank you so much, Mr. Moyer.
No problem.